Welcome to the Web3 Artist Spotlight podcast, hosted by Giancarlo and Jennifer. This episode was recorded live on Friday, June 9th via Twitter Space and YouTube live stream. Hope you enjoy.
How are you guys doing today, Jenny and Yuseph?
Doing great. So happy to be here. So excited for this. I'm such a fan of Zapata, so I'm fangirling. I don't know if people can see the stream, but I'm rocking my hoodie.
I love it.
That's really lovely to see you wearing my hoodie. It's really cool. Thank you, Giancarlo and Jenny, for this space. I'm really excited to be here. It's so cool to finally talk to you and see you at the same time here in the stream.
Yeah, this is awesome, and it's really cool to be able to do these two. To also have like the video, and later I'll edit it and also publish it on YouTube as well, so people can check it out, because it's also a whole different experience to kind of see the interactions, the faces, the merch what we have in the room too. So it's super dope. But yeah, we usually like to kick it off. I'll do like a quick introduction, for this space, right, and why we do it. Jenny will then introduce our guest artist for today, and then we kind of jump into kind of an interview, questions, answers for you, Yuseph, and then I'd love to have people that are in the audience in our Twitter space to come up on the stage. Let us know how you're doing. If you want to ask any questions, I would love to have you guys on here. So with that said, I'll kick us off and basically just say that I started these spaces, right, to really be able to like interview and highlight the amazing work of Web3 artists. I wanted to really have a place where we could get to know the artist behind the art, better, right, and go a little bit deeper than maybe other types of, spaces or places where people were able to, go up and talk for just a little bit of time, right? And hopefully through these spaces, people can get to know the artist a lot better. Maybe they can reach new audiences, and others that maybe have some kind of creative passion inside, right, can be inspired to start creating and sharing artwork of their own. We made this a very inclusive space, so we welcome artists of all nationalities, backgrounds, artistic styles. Whether they have 50,000 followers or 50, we really want to celebrate how art and creativity bring us all together. So with that said, I'll turn it over to Jenny to introduce our special guest for today.
Thank you. Yuseph Zapata is a super talented Colombian artist. He is a street artist, NFT artist, graphic designer, and the creator of Palometa, the super cool pigeon which Yuseph had brought to life through his ingenious use of AR technology. Palometa also appears in many murals and walls all over Colombia. Recently, Yusef's Palometa was showcased at the NFC Summit in Lisbon, Portugal, as well as NFT NYC in April. His Palometa has won over the hearts of many children who love Palometa's bright colors and persona, as well as many adults, myself included, who are fans and collectors of Yusef's art. He continues to build and is a voice in Web3 for Latino creators and entrepreneurs. And with that, Giancarlo and I welcome Yuseph to the space.
Welcome, Yuseph. And I thought it was also so cool that this happened to also be the same week that Maggie, Twisted Chick on Twitter, also published a blog post about you as well. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So I got a little glimpse of some of the background before the space, which was really nice. And hopefully we'll be able to build on that and go deeper here as well. But so maybe to kick it off, Yuseph, could you start off, maybe take like 5 minutes and tell us a little bit more about yourself, right? A little bit about your story, your background, and then how you came into the Web3 space.
Of course. Thank you for that beautiful introduction, Jenny. That really give me goosebumps. So I am a graphic designer from Cartagena, a beautiful city in Colombia, the coast of Colombia. I live in Bogota. And when I finished the university, I created a company called ACTIF Studio. We work in creativity focused on sustainability projects. So that's kind of my, I will say, business background. And 5 years ago, I started painting again. All my life I love to paint. My mom is a self-taught artist. She's really awesome, really explorative person. So I started painting and drawing since I was very young, and I stopped because of my career. After like a lot of years with my company, I started drawing again, making comics about like funny situations and stuff that I wanted to get out of my system. And on that process, I did like some illustrations and illustration about my hometown Cartagena. And with that illustration, I got selected to be part of a book of publishers from New York called They Draw and Travel. And with that, I like started thinking about my illustrations as art, like something I loved and I wanted to express into canvas or into illustration, whatever media that you prefer. That was digital, of course. And with that, I started exploring more about art, and I found my beloved and loved by all character, the Palometa.
Oh man, that's so awesome. And it's really cool that yeah, you always had that love for art, and then you like reconnected with it and started to, create, and then you developed this character. And I wanted to actually learn a little bit more about Palometa, right? So because you created, so first of all, it's a pigeon character, which I thought was an interesting choice of animal. And so this is like now the main subject of a lot of the artwork you've put out there, especially like the NFT art. And so can you tell us a little bit more about like what inspired you to create Palometa, and also like make it the main subject of your artwork, right? And the choice of the animal and everything like that.
Of course, Palometa was born like I started exploring street art, and I love like the graffiti art and everything about that, like all the culture about street art. So I took a course in downtown Bogota with an artist called Whoops. He has like this cool name, like it's like a oops, but he introduced a W at the beginning, was like Whoops. And there I met like a lot of street art styles, and PES Barcelona was kind of a really big influence for me. So I told myself like, okay, I really like illustration. I do really cool characters, so it would be really cool to have my character in my street art. And one day I was thinking about like, okay, which character should I use? And in the illustration from Cartagena that I was talking about minutes ago, I had really like crazy looking pigeons, and I was like, well, I have the pigeons right here. So pigeons are from the street. They have really cool, like positive cultural connotations like peace and hope. They are kind of religious, have been taken by religion to express the Holy Spirit, and then but at the end they are street animals, really like
Mm-hmm.
a street iconic character. And I was like, okay, this is like the opposite of myself. I am a graphic designer that I want to be in the street as a street artist, and the pigeons are street animals that come to like the iconic world of design. And I say, okay, this is my character. Was like kind of I was sitting in my living room and I saw the painting. I framed the painting of the Cartagena tour, the map that I did, and I was like, okay, but I draw really funny pigeons. They will be really cool to put into street art. So that was kind of a connection. And with the name, it was kind of a funny story. I went to Miami and they have a popsicle store called Cielito Lindo.
Mm-hmm.
And over there, they are from Colombia too, and they have popsicles made out of wood that artists can paint on. And I went there. They gave me like, well, so I saw a bunch of artists like Atomico, Mira from
Cool.
Miami, and I was like really inspired. Like, okay, I want to be in that wall. And I took one of the wooden popsicles. I painted over there in Miami. When I take it there, the piece was called Palometa because paloma is pigeon
Oh,
in
and
Spanish,
paleta.
and paleta is popsicle in Spanish, and then there was the name, like a mix of paloma and paleta, palometa.
Oh, that's
Okay,
so
I
cool.
went with the name, and everybody started calling the pigeon like that. Like everybody was like, "Oh, I love the palometa. I love the palometa, palometa." I'm like, okay, but there's only one piece called palometa. No, but everybody took the name, so it was baptized by the people that saw the painting.
Wow, that's so cool. I love how that just kind of happened. Like it's really neat how the things that something that then becomes like a big part of your life. Just happened from something that coincidentally, like people are like, yeah, let's call it this. But and then now it's tattooed on
Yeah,
you.
I had a tattoo and everything about
Wow.
that. So like my whole world is now spinning around about that pigeon.
Yeah, that's so dope.
That's amazing. That just goes to show you that it was like very meant to be. Because when things happen like that, just like so fluidly and organically, that's what's up. I'm so happy for you. You are a proud Latino from Colombia. Do you think that you bring elements from your surroundings and culture into your art? And if so, how do you do that?
Okay, so I think that's kind of my main goal. People from Cartagena are really happy, really joyful, like about life, about everything. When you go to Cartagena, you are all the time. People are funny. Like they try to be funny. Like you get in a taxi and a cab, and the taxi driver start like making jokes. He makes jokes about you. It's really like a really happy environment. So I think my paintings bring these like tropical colors, as you can see on my hoodie and your hoodie, and all my pieces. They all have like this explosion of colors. I think that the street art brings this into my conversation with art, and all the time like trying to make Palometa kind of dumb but funny. She's trying to be bad. She's trying to be like street gangster, but she's like kind of dumb, and that makes it like an inner joke for me. Like all my paintings are like inner jokes or memes or things that I see on video that like pigeons are making, and they are funny. So I try to bring that essence from the Caribbean coast to my paintings. So a lot of yellow, a lot of pink, explosive colors in Getsemani in Cartagena. You see the walls and the houses are painted in different shiny colors, and they have flowers outside. So when you walk around the downtown Cartagena, I think you will find a lot of palometa and a lot of colors over there. Also, I have two graffitis over there that Luca was visiting some days ago.
Nice. I'm gonna have to go check that out the next time I'm in Cartagena for sure. So I'll have to ask you guys for the specific directions. But yeah, I mean, I think your art is, yeah, it's so cool. I mean, like it really is like so colorful. It has such like good positive vibes to it, and for people maybe checking out the stream, like, yeah, I'm sharing here like on Zapata's Behance, kind of like just some pictures of it, and kind of what it looks like. But one thing I was kind of curious about, Yuseph, was what's your process like for like selecting the colors, like the composition, maybe even like the theme that you're gonna be creating with your artwork? Can you share with us a little bit about that? Like, how do you go about thinking about like, okay, what colors you're gonna use, or what, I don't know, what pose you're gonna put Palometa in? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Of course, that's like an amazing question. Thanks for asking. Normally, like artists, that's kind of a funny thing, a funny story. Artists are like really like deep into concepts and into what they feel about art. And when they ask me and I tell them like, okay, normally I use memes, everybody's like, really? Like I love memes. I love like, and I try to analyze that, and what's kind of like the everyday culture. Like every day you're watching on TikTok, on Instagram, you watch memes, you watch like funny stuff, funny things. Like the last painting I did was a video of two pigeons throwing a third one into the subway of New York, and was kind of a gangster move by them, and was like I should paint those pigeons. They are really badasses, and I want to express that. Or one day I thought about like one audio, you know, the one that they say like, me voy a matar, este es mi último wee,
Yeah.
and there was the sound,
Uh,
and I was like, I have to paint that pigeon jumping into something like screaming wee, and that's kind of my main inspiration, like everyday culture, everyday funny stuff that I saw on Instagram and stuff. I try to bring it into art, and it's kind of a way to tell people that you don't have to be like too, I don't know,
like serious
too
too.
serious
Yeah,
when you go
yeah.
into art, right? You know, when you go to a gallery, I like an old school gallery, you see people like kind of watching art, and then they're staring and they're really concentrated. And I want, when they go from painting by, I don't know, Dali or something, like really introspective painting, when they look to the next painting, is gonna be like explosion of stuff and a pigeon doing something really funny. That's kind of my main goal here with art. So I think that's kind of the main inspiration. I want to bring happiness and everyday happiness into the serious world of art, and this time into NFT, of course.
Man, I love that so much. And I think I mean, it's needed, right? I think, and it's cool that you do that too, because there's a place for all of it, right? There's a place for like art pieces to be more, introspective or even expressing like deeper emotions. But it's also nice to have something lighthearted, something funny, something that just makes, brings a smile to your face. So I love it. I love the bright colors, and and I think you're probably the first artist that I've talked to that's actually said that they use memes and like just stuff happening in culture as inspiration. So that is really cool, really unique. So I love that so much, man. That's so awesome.
Thanks.
So I know like you and other artists like Urasaka, who's also fellow Colombian as well, have been creating. You doing a lot of stuff with like augmented reality, right? Like creating like filters for your artwork. As a matter of fact, even for the app, we're gonna give out, for people attending this, you were gonna create something there for people to be able to kind of see the thing come out and almost come to life, right? So can you tell us a little bit more about how you've been combining AR with your art, and maybe share a tip for other artists because I know we have a lot of artists in this space, other artists will be probably listening to this. How can they go about maybe applying some of these same things for their art, to kind of bring it to a whole new light as well?
Yeah, for sure. Here are a lot of like awesome artists that I admire a lot, and also collectors. I want to say hello to all of them. Thank you for being here. And I think this AR like movement was kind of totally influenced by Hudasaka, who is one of my biggest friends here. As you can see, we paint walls here in Bogota. We make collaborations. We exhibit together. We are really close to each other. And he showed me one day, like, "Hey, check out this augmented reality filter." I was like everything. I'm a late adopter of everything. I was like, "No, why should I use this?" Like the same with NFT. Why would I be into NFTs? The same was with the AR filters. I'm like, "No, why should I use this?" And he gave me like a really good explanation. It's kind of you give like a bridge between physical on and digital. This bridge is kind of a second moment when you see a painting or you see an NFT, and you are like, okay, this is beautiful, I am connected, I love it. But wait a minute, check out this augmented reality. This is gonna do something else for you.
Mm-hmm.
And this something else is an animation, is something also shareable, because we program the AR filters with an application called Spark AR, a program. And with this program, you can share it automatically in Instagram. So it creates a shareability that he hates this term, but is the term like shareability. You share it. You don't only look at the painting. You can share it right away. You can play with it. And for this, the pop-up is inspired in this golden sticker that I'm showing right now. and it's kind of a dancing palometa, and it's really like trippy background and golden. So I wanted this to be the pop-up, and also Kudasaka here created for me. It's called a location filter. So when you use it, you place in your phone where you want to place it, and the pigeon is gonna be like popping out, and it's gonna be making like he has an animation too. It's gonna be like a location. So for me, it was kind of an experience. This is gonna be my first pop. So
Oh,
Giancarlo,
cool.
your pop is gonna be the first ever
Nice.
Palometa made as a pop. It's gonna be really really cool. And also my first location filter is going to be like something that people can say, okay, here I am on vacation, or I am on the street and I want to show something, but I also want to show the palometa dancing around. So
That's so
it's
dope.
really, really cool to a way to connect. So for artists here who like to use augmented reality or want to make like a second moment with their art, here is Hudasaka. He's a really kind person. He's gonna help you with this. He's gonna be like really like I don't know, a kind of a guide into this AR stuff, and with all the things that are happening in technology, it's a good way to show people they can be both in both worlds, like in physical world and in digital world at the same time. We live in that kind of mix right now,
Hmm.
so it's a good way to show it.
Wow, that is so cool. And by the way, so for folks that are in the space, Hudasaka is in there as well. So I'd suggest, yeah, if you have any interest in that, give him a follow. He's also a great artist. He's got like the kind of Mickey Mouse look like PFP. And I'll also add in when I put the podcast notes, for later for the video piece. Definitely put also a link to Hudasaka's profile, and I think we gotta probably get Hudasaka on here as well. I gotta maybe chat it up, and we gotta bring you on as a guest as well at some point.
Dale, dale, dale. He's
Listo.
gonna. I think he may be in his day job. He's a professor at the university, so he might like I don't know, like give the kids a break, and he's gonna be joining us
Like,
soon.
all right, kids, hold up. I gotta go do this interview. I love it. All right, Jenny, you want to go to your question next?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's to do with AR. Your AR filter is a utility that you offer your holders, and also a way that you connect your street art murals and stickers to this amazing technology. As a pioneer of the tech, early user, because a lot of people still are
Mhm.
not familiar with it, how do you see AR being used in the near future?
I think AR is gonna be like really important because it's like a way to give the audience a little bit more to create this conversation between the art or the piece or the advertising with the person. It's not gonna be like only look at me. It's gonna be like look at me, but let's interact. I think this is a really good way to see AR right now, and AR mixed with art makes you like create this conversation that wasn't like about allowed by many years. Like when I started into art, I always wanted to see my art animated. I was like, okay, this palometa here, I'm gonna paint it. It's gonna be dancing, but I have to make like movement lines or stuff to make it happen. But when I went into NFT, I wanted to be more. Since it was digital, I could only like upload my paintings, my drawings in from Procreate and stuff into art, but I was like, okay, but now I can make this art move. And I like my first NFTs were animated. As you can see, my Palometa collection, they are all animated. They have different animations. And I was like, okay, and now let's do this into AR. Like let's bring one step ahead this conversation with animation. And also, I think with this new technology, as you saw, like Apple released
Mhm.
their lenses or glasses. I don't know how to call them, but they have like an awesome interaction with AR. So I think we are like talking about a technology that's going to be really subject in the future, near future.
I agree. I think you are doing everything to position yourself great for something in the near future. So I'm really happy for you and for Murasaka too. Your merchandise is another way you bring your art to life. You're so thoughtful that, like, in the stream it can be seen, but you have a QR code that's stitched into the clothing, which takes people to your NFT collection. What advice would you give an artist who is thinking about offering merchandise? A lot of artists are not in the best of financial times and trying to figure out different ways that maybe they could market their art. So I was curious if you have any advice on merchandising for artists.
I think the best advice is to think on something you would like to have. Like all the time, I was thinking about these hoodies. This is a kind of a dream come true for me. To wear my own art is like awesome. I was like really thrilled when I got the first one. I was kind of like I wanted to cry. It was a really beautiful moment because I all the time I didn't like the designs they sell for me in the stores. I was like I could do this better. I could I don't know. I every time I was thinking about creating my own line of merchandising and stuff, and I wanted people to have like something else from my art. Like if you don't see my art like in your walls or in your house because they don't mix with your decoration, something like that, but you still can wear it. You still can have stickers. You still can have pins, and it's a good way to diversify your market. It's like I have people who have only the hoodies and they don't have any paintings or they don't have NFTs. But with the hoodies, I want to create this second channel, like this bad words channel where you buy the physical stuff, like the merch or the clothing, and then you get interested into NFTs. So I tell everybody like, okay, now you own one of my hoodies, but you can own one of my NFTs for a special price for you. That's why I put it like the link of that specific collection in the tag, so people can say, okay, check out this hoodie, and people is gonna be like the same as augmented reality. Oh, hey, cool hoodie. No, but wait a minute, check out. You can scan this QR and check out my own NFT that is created inspired by this hoodie. So it's creating these kind of moments that I think people, as collectors, are as buyers, are fans of the Palometa or the art, are gonna be like trying to brag about. I think art is kind of a way to brag about what you have and your
Mm-hmm.
good taste into something. The same way as you buy yours, like the cool J Balvin sneakers that are like only limited edition. The same is with with art. So I think I want to create this same experience into like between art and merchandising and the collectors and the people who get it. So for people who are like right now, like a lot of bad attitude or bad, I don't know how to say, like they feel like kind of overwhelmed with this bear market and stuff, is a really good way to diversify your work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, gas is really high. You can get us, I don't know, you can get a print or you can get a painting, you can get a hoodie, you can still collect and you can still move your art and you can still, uh, I don't know, reach collectors or reach people you love with your art, but they don't have to be, I don't know, paying gases or have to open a wallet. That is kind of a really, really difficult stuff for collectors to get into NFT. You
Mm-hmm.
can tell them, okay, don't open a wallet, get the hoodie. But after they get a hoodie, they get interested into art. Like, okay, so now tell me about the NFT. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you about the NFT and blah blah blah. We can like bring people into this Web3 environment that is really awesome space to be.
Yeah, it's so cool. And last week we had Sarah Bowman from the Women and Weapons team on here, and that was also advice she was saying. She's like, art tends to be more of a luxury good, right? And so when times are tough and whatnot, people may not always be inclined to want to buy, a luxury good or some, piece of art, but jewelry, merchandise, those things, like people still need to wear clothes. Do people still want to, express themselves and things like that? So I think it's so smart that, you've tapped into that, and, you're also creating the merchandise and then making that link between that and then the digital art and the collections and all that, because it's cool. It kind of like opens the door. They start following you from, just for the physical stuff, but then they can learn about the digital and kind of transition to that. So I think that's so cool. And I know earlier in the space, you did mention that you're the co-founder of ACTIF Studio, right? So it's like a creative agency focused on sustainability projects. I think it's so cool that in addition to being an artist, you're also, an entrepreneur and doing this other work as well. And I was curious, can you maybe explain to us a little bit more about like what the sustainability projects are and what is it that the agency does for them, just to get a little bit more of that side of what you do?
Sure, that's kind of my Bruce Wayne side of my life.
Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yeah, I have to say it like that. I'm a huge Batman fan, so that's a kind of my comparison
By the way,
for everything.
There's
everything.
one piece that I really loved, and maybe I'll have to find it and share it. That I saw that you made one that it's like the palometa is like it's like a Batman kind of palometa, and then it's like and it transitions from like
from
darkness.
the Batman animated series.
Yeah,
Right?
it's so cool.
The intro, that intro is beautiful. So I love that intro all my life. And making that palometa was kind of all the time I was singing the song in my head. So no, well, about Active Studio, we are a company. We have 18 years. This year we're going to be 18 years. We create communication for sustainability projects and for brands to get into sustainability. Right now, I'm here in Medellin for a sustainability and green mobility summit. I came here with my company. That's kind of a way to use your creativity and all the tools from marketing to make sustainability cool, to make it part of the brand, to make it part of the communication, to make it easy for people to understand about sustainability. That happens also with the NFT world, that we all speak like the same language. It's kind of a technical language. In sustainability is the same, and people don't understand it. With Active Studio, we try to make it easy for people to understand it, easy to people to connect, easy to people to reach and to know what they are doing about for the planet, about sustainability, like with recycle, with everything you do in your life. So we try to make it like part of the brand essence. We call it hacking marketing. We are hacking marketing into doing something positive for the planet.
Man, that's really cool. Yeah, and I actually, I'd love to. Is there more like materials on your company site about like sustainability and how to reach out to you guys for that?
Yeah, sure. On my Linktree, I have my company website. There you can find like all the information, all the campaigns we make. Right now, we are making a really good product with art and sustainability and augmented reality and NFTs. Like, okay, I bring everything from Web3 that I get to know into my company too. We are making murals that absorb CO2 from the environment. They are like murals made with a painting that cleans the environment. It's a really cool product. We were marketing here in Medellin. That product is awesome. With our associates, we made all the drive-throughs from Peru. They're gonna have murals made by different artists. They're gonna have QRs with animation, and they all have this painting that absorbs like the pollution from the environment. So it's a really cool way to make art. Also, positive character into saving the planet.
Dude, that's awesome. I had never even heard about that. I had no idea that even existed. So the fact that like
me neither. It was like kind of 2 months ago, I was like mind blown. I was like, okay, so my palometa is gonna be helping the planet too. That's really cool. So I don't use my palometa into those designs yet, because I try to bring different artists and like support their work
Mm-hmm.
and to showcase their art into these positive campaigns. Right now, we work with Cerezo Monkey, who is also here as a listener, and was a really cool experience. I get to meet him in person here in Medellin. We work together with this project, and we're gonna be working with more projects. So it's really awesome way to see sustainability, like a cool stuff, like artsy stuff. You can see it like a thing that you do every day, and I think that makes you look cool.
Yeah, no, that's
Why
so
not?
awesome. And I might hit you up for that because I just had this idea of like it'd be really cool to even organize something with like kids to go paint like a mural somewhere and then be like, hey, and by the way, like the paint that we're using here is actually helping to save the planet. You know, this is what it is. So, yeah, so cool.
Of course, they give you a certificate of
Mm-hmm.
how many, like how many, no, like the equivalent of trees that can be like making this pollution. I don't know how to say, like no, in English it's too difficult
Dígalo en
to explain
español
my
and we'll
company.
translate. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, yeah, you get a certificate, and in the communication you say, okay, this mural is equivalent that as I don't know 10 trees, and they are making like the same thing, like same. I don't know, on polluting the air. I don't know if that's a word.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. So cool. I learned something new today. It's a really cool thing. I definitely want to
Also,
learn more
that
about
word that I made up is also a
that's
new
it.
thing that you learn.
The new words. The new words. That's awesome. So I know you did mention a few people earlier. You know, you talked a little bit about Atomico. You also mentioned Hudasaka being a big influence and person that taught you about AR. But I was curious if you could share some more artists that have inspired you, whether it's in or outside of the Web3 space, or even maybe even the street art space as well.
Yeah, sure. The first piece, the art piece, like expensive art piece that I got, it was from Pes Barcelona, who is a street artist, like really well known. He paints like all over the world, and he has a character that is a fish, and was like the closest inspiration. With that, I get to see Todd Cat, that is also an artist from Colombia, and these artists like Van Dul and people who has characters. I'm like all the time like trying to see what they are doing. They are
Mm.
making art toys, and that's kind of my next step. I hope to. I think this year is gonna be really full of stuff, and not gonna finish it. But I want to make my own art toy. I want to have my palometa in a physical form,
Mm-hmm.
and to use it as a decoration of my house. But since I arrived the Web3 space, one of my biggest influence was Buitrago, who is also an artist and an architect who
Mm-hmm.
he designs metaverse galleries for people and for projects, and also projects like Pigeons of New York was a huge inspiration for me. They have also pigeons. We met in a space and here in Web3 and was like, hey, what up, cousin? We are cousins. I have pigeons, you have pigeons. And they gave me the opportunity to collaborate with them. And that was kind of a sold out immediate for me for my Palometa collection. Like we got to meet each other at New York last like 2 months ago. Was a really awesome experience. Also, Artist Collective, they are awesome. They support art. They make art exhibitions. I was exhibiting right now in where was that, in Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
at the NFC and non-fungible conference, and they put all our art in huge screens. They have been like promoting artists and helping artists get into Web3. They are really awesome people to be around and to get to know. And I think I will have to talk about Ana Subarev, who is kind of my Web3 mom.
Yeah, I did read about
I
that
love to
in
see her.
in Maggie's blog post. That yeah, she was a big
Yeah,
inspiration.
Maggie was really, really awesome. Also, like
Mm-hmm.
that introduction she made in the blog was kind of Jenny's introduction here. Like, I don't know, when people talk about me, I feel like overwhelmed
Oh.
because you don't get to that into graphic design. Nobody talks about the designer. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a new thing here. And also Luco. Luco is an artist from Colombia. I think you both are collected from Luco, and he's kind of like a warrior. I think I like to see this is kind of a Padawan for me and Hudasaka. We like to like work with him. He's a really strong person who likes to put his work. He teaches a lot. We have worked together here in Bogota, painting murals. And we are into Web3 all the time, like in events. And you see him everywhere. You are like, okay, Luco is working really hard, and he's really young. He's like 23, and I am older. So it's really cool to see like all these people, also Jenny and you, what the work you are doing here, like showcasing artists and supporting them is crucial to to make this Web3 world grow and become the place we want it to be.
Oh yeah, and yeah, you mentioned so many awesome people. I think Luco's he's got a special place in my heart too. You know, he's such a genuinely good person, such good vibes. I know he's in the space as well, so I'm gonna give you your flowers as well, and also make such beautiful art. And we did have him on our space as well a little while ago, and it was really cool to hear about his story. And Anna's Anna's going to be in our space this month as well, so so we'll be spotlighting her, and I'm really looking forward to that one too, because I also love her artwork and really want to know more about her story. But yeah, no, it's pleasure definitely having you on, and I mean you're also doing amazing things in this space as well. So that's really cool. Then you want to go to your next question?
Yeah, your art has been featured at conferences all over the world. What's next for you? And do you have any plans that you can share with us?
Well, right now with all the people I met at the NYC event, like seeing people being showcased at World Trade Center was really huge for me. Like seeing art exhibited at a place that is normally for advertising is really great. Like we are taking places where art shouldn't be showcased. So for me, that's really awesome. It's kind of my main goal for next year to be there, like to be as Carlos Meta World was exhibited there and see all your family, Jenny, and your sons and stuff was really cool. And I want that for me like a main goal for next year. And over there, I met a lot of awesome people. I created an NFT about that, like all the stickers from all the artists and all the people I get to meet there. And in that process, I went to an exhibition, a pop-up exhibition from Bueno. Bueno is a marketplace from, what's the name? I forgot the name right now. Well, it's a really cool marketplace. I get to know a lot of people, the creator of the marketplace. And I was like, hey, this is a really cool place to be. He's a Latin also. And I was like, I want to be part of this. And they wanted to work with me. We started talking like, hey, we should work together. Hey, we should do something. And we should look. And I came to the marketplace and to all the team. And I told them like, okay, let's not procrastinate more. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want my collection from New York, like my New York experience. This is my new collection. It's called Street Dove. And so it's gonna be like a lot of things that I brought from New York. I brought maps. I brought signs from the subway that I recycled. Let's say it like that way.
Recycled.
Recycled, and I use them to create my new collection of paintings. And those paintings are gonna be at Bueno. Right now, I made my first drop. It's an open edition called Sticker Bombing. I think sticker bombing into street art is not so like showcased, but all artists have awesome stickers, and they create art with this, and they make it like their quick stamp. You don't have time to make like a tag or a pop throw up graffiti so fast without being caught by the police. So you can stick your mark. You can paste your sticker, and then you leave your mark. So I think it's a really good way to start my collection on Bueno. And I have this collection on Bueno. It's going to be growing. The collectors of this open edition that is going to be only for June are going to get a free mint for the second drop. It's kind of a welcome gift to people and to collectors and to Palometa and to Bueno. And after that, I'm going to make an exhibition with Judas Alca and Maria Paula Alzate that we call Chromaverse. We made the first edition early this year. It was a really cool experience for Web3 and NFT artists who have physical pieces to make this, to have this space. And this space, you showcase the physical art, and then you have an online gallery that we showcased artists from United States, from Portugal. So it was a cool way to tell physical art collectors, like, okay, come to see a gallery, come to see physical art, but wait a minute, these are all artists from the Web3 world. They have NFTs. Take this QR, you can scan it, and you can enter the Web3 to the virtual gallery. So we made it like a chat that we'll call a chat, una charla. I don't know, an
A speech?
exhibition,
Like a speech?
like a speech for collectors about NFT. People were really interested. I'm sure people went after that. They went home and start digging more about Web3. That I think that's the main goal of Chromaverse. So we're gonna have Chromaverse on October of this year. It's gonna be digital and physical exhibition.
And that's in Colombia. In which city?
It's gonna be in Bogota.
Bogota.
We have already a location. We want to make it like a different plan from the normal way you see art. We're gonna make a barbecue. We want people to hang out, to have cocktails, to like a really open space for everybody to come have a good time, and also to check out art, to know more about the artists, to know about artists who make NFTs and also physical art. And I think the main goal is to tell people like NFT is art. I think that's the main goal. And for people to watch artists and to watch the paintings live, and then to know that they are making also NFTs, and they are like the new way of art, is gonna be cool. I see you are showcasing the sticker bomb in Palometa.
Yeah.
This
I figured
has
I'm like, let me
also a
pull it up so I
physical.
could show it there because it's so cool.
It has a physical piece too that I'm gonna be like framing and making it into a physical piece of art. It's a really cool way to like showcase also the projects and the people that I get to meet at New York. And as you can see, Palometa is kind of, it was caught sticking the last sticker on that wall. So it's kind of a, she got caught and she has like this surprise face. But she loves what she's doing. That's why she got the heart.
Oh, love that. That's so cool. But yeah, and I figured I'm like, yeah, let me showcase it there because it really is such a cool piece, and it's nice that people that collect this one then will get that free mint after as well. So that's some alpha there for people listening as well. But and so one other thing I want to ask you as well, Zapata, was maybe so we talked a lot about your art and all these other things you're doing, but maybe aside from art, what other things are you also passionate about?
I think I'm really passionate about my company. As an entrepreneur, like your company is your son. You want to see it grow. I've seen mine evolving on from time to time, from uh, graphic design to architecture to an agency, advertising agency, and then to come into this um, moment on where my company is making sustainability projects and helping sustainability is a really nice way to help through my art. I'm also really passionate about, like, I think connections and traveling and creating connections. This experience at NFT NYC was beautiful, getting to know people that I I got to love in Twitter and get to hug him and get to paint with them was really, really like, that was something else. And I think that social skill that I have to make friends, to hang out, to party is one of the other things that I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I think, going to those in real life events and getting to connect with people and hug, I mean, it's such a cool experience, and especially when you've like already interacted so much with somebody like online, and you already feel like you have this connection, and it just kind of brings it to like a whole other level. It's something special.
For me, it was kind of entering a school where everybody is talking about the same thing as you. Like everybody's cool, everybody's nice. They are not like like the popular guys and the badasses and different. No, they are like we are all in the same classroom. And when you get to meet them in person, it's like, okay, I arrived in the place that I wanted to be.
It's like you're somewhere where you belong. It's like right.
That's perfect.
Oh man, love that. And maybe before we go to your question, Jenny, I just want to let people know. So if you're in the Twitter space and you want to come up to speak, to ask a question, feel free to request now. Would love to have you guys up here. Go ahead, Jenny.
Sorry, I was multitasking for a second and
good.
I got lost. So just a lighthearted question, just trying to see like what your interests are. Do you have any favorite movies or music that you want to share with us?
Sure. My favorite movie of all times is Inception. I love that movie, but I have different moments for movies. So there's a movie that normally when I am like changing channels, if I get to like a channel that is playing Mad Max, I have to stay there. That's the only movie that I can see from any part. I don't like to start movies when they are already started, but when I get Mad Max anywhere like Fury Road, I have to stay and finish the movie. But Inception is my favorite movie. Batman is my favorite character. That, as I said, I'm really into like Star Wars universe. I'm really geeky about Star Wars. Well, I don't have it. I didn't bring them to Medellin, but my cousin, where I'm staying right now, they made a commission for me to design a palometa from Star Wars. I'm gonna be showing them this week. It's really beautiful painting. It has a mix of street art, oil painting, and acrylic painting, so it makes it really good. And I made a Luke Skywalker and an Anakin Skywalker palometas that they look really fun, really badass. Anakin looks really, really, really evil. I love that piece. And the music right now, I have it like for moments. I think you won't believe this, but I had my hair really long. I was into a hardcore band. Right now,
like metal, or
I
what
only
was
like
it? Like
hardcore and punk.
And punk, okay.
So let's say for the gym, I like to listen to metal, like really hard metal, like Godsmack, Motorhead, Pantera. That kind of music is kind of for that moment. For moments that I want to work, I use hip hop music, and also for like all the reels that I upload and all, they all have music like Drake. I like a band from Cartagena that is called Sistema Solar. They play kind of a mix of champeta music with Caribbean sounds. It's kind of funk and stuff. I use them on my reels all the time. I think they're really awesome. And to hang out with my friends and to drink, since I am from Cartagena, I like vallenato music, of course.
What's your favorite vallenato artist?
Well,
tough.
Everybody in the world have to say that it's Diomedes
Diaz. I knew that was coming.
Yeah, that's kind of a normal question for a Colombian
Yeah.
person who says like, "Who's the best vallenato singer?"
Diomedes.
Diomedes.
I love that.
I love that too. I can't wait to see the Star Wars piece. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and Batman and Inception. I like Inception because I feel like it makes so much sense, like with Web3 too, like, you know, the realities bending and stuff like that. So cool.
Yeah, for me, actually, Inception is like actually one of my like probably top 3 favorite movies as well. And like I'm a huge fan of Christopher Nolan, like the director. So like Interstellar, The Prestige, even going back to like his older movies like Memento. I
Memento.
love. Oh yeah, I mean, he just like, and even the Batman's like the Dark Knight. I mean, like he's just so
They're
good.
perfect.
Right? So yeah,
I
I'm a
kind
huge
of
fan.
take them out of the equation because they have my favorite character. They are like, but if I could say something about those movies, that would be like really biased thing because I'm really a big Batman fan. So that's why I choose always Inception.
Yeah, no, it's such a good movie for sure. Love it. All right, I was just checking to see if we got anybody requesting to speak. I think I threw out a few requests if people wanted to come up, so I'd love to have you guys up here if you want to join and let us know how you're doing. Actually, I did have a question. Oh, it looks like Luco just joined as well. Hey, Luco.
Yo, hello, hola, familia.
Hola.
¿Cómo están?
Muy
How are
bien,
you?
muy bien.
Hola, you. ¿Qué tal, qué tal, qué tal? Happy to hear this space. I'm just smiling. I just having a really nice morning here in Colombia. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us, brother. It's really good to hear you, man.
Well, bro, I have to say that it was so nice to hear all about you more because, well, we know each other, but know more about you, your story, all the projects that you are working, and really want to say that thank you for this space, Giancarlo, Jenny, because I think that you deserves this and so much because he is like how we'd say is like my senpai with Burasaka. So I am really grateful with them forever. It's like my art fam, how I said to them here. And I think that we are living like things so beautiful through the art love and all the projects that you is working and the art of him is like unique. He's like a special soul of this space with Gurasaka. So I'm grateful for this. Thank you so much, you. I really appreciate you, man. And I'm so glad to know more and to connect more with you every single day and do some stuff, be happy and create the vibes of Colombia and transmit the message through the art and work together. I'm so grateful for that, man. I appreciate you, man. You senpai.
Thank you for those kind words, bro. Yeah, you know you are a big inspiration for all artists. I include myself there because what you did for NFT NYC was huge. I don't know if people here know about this, but Luco went with us to NFT NYC, even though he wasn't part of the exhibition. He wanted to be there. He wanted to be part of all these connections we made. He wanted to be like all the places, all the galleries, everything. So he made a huge effort to be there, and he rocked it. He he did like everything with us. We hung out every time. He had like a really like rough time because he was staying really far from the event, but he made it. Like he made it every day. He was there. He was representing. He's a really yeah, like a good way to represent Colombia. I will say that this guy has it all.
Yeah, thank you so much, brother, for coming up, and you're always bringing the good vibes, man. Always appreciate you and appreciate when you join the spaces, and yeah, man, you're also definitely a tremendous inspiration for a lot of us here.
No, thank you guys. Actually, you're talking about New York. It's one of the best experiences that I have been lived in my life, for real, for art, for connections, for hang out with the fam, do everything crazy over there, and I am so grateful for that trip, and thank you and Huyasaka, because that is a trip that I think we have gonna be forever in our minds. So I really appreciate that, man, and thank you for showing up. You're amazing. I see the Wabbit over there. That's so cool because we meet over there with and also with Jenny, and it was a huge experience, a unique one experience. So thanks, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate that, and keep rocking, keep doing the vibe. You're amazing. Thank you, my man. I love you. You.
Awesome. Love
Thank
that.
you, brother. Always with the good vibes. You know how to bring them.
For sure. 100%. So we also got Akash up on the stage and a regular of our spaces. Thank you so much for being here. How you doing today?
Hey, to be precise, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our incredible hosts, Jennifer, Giancarlo, for having me here. I want to extend my warm hello to everyone in the room. Hola, mi encanta tu trabajo. Though I am not well versed in Spanish, I want to convey my admiration to for you for your work, Zapata. This is for the first time and I am interacting with you, and I truly appreciate this opportunity. I have been attentively listening to all the conversation and have gained a wealth of knowledge. I am diligently noting down all the key points as discussed above that you even don't know. So, as someone working in the field of medicine and AI, I am currently exploring the world of Web3. It's a truly remarkable opportunity to be able to ask questions to such an incredible artist like you. Therefore, so my question here is, how do you navigate the digital art space as a Web3 artist, and what are the challenges and advantages do you encounter when showcasing and selling your digital artwork? And another question, what valuable lessons or insights can traditional artists glean from the rise of Web3 artists and the digital art movement? And once again, I want to express my gratitude for this platform, and I am eagerly looking forward to hearing your thoughts on these topics. Thank you.
Thank you, Akash. Thank you for being here. Your Spanish was really good. Thank you for making that effort to say hello and to say like really kindly to warm our hearts here since we are all Spanish speakers here. So I will say that the first challenge of digital art is to think of it as art. For me, that was one of the most difficult things because I was making illustrations like for 2 years, and I saw them like they were like since they were digital, they didn't belong to the art world. So I was like kind of a little bit down about that. I was like, okay, they look really cool, but they are like what people tells me that they want to see. But the moment that I started thinking about digital art as art, I think that will be like when I painted the map from Cartagena. That was something that came out of my heart, that came out of my mind. I wanted to look the way it looked, to express the everything that it expressed. It doesn't have all Cartagena. It only has like the path that I like to walk around. So it was really personal thing that I expressed there, and it was digital. But when it was selected as part of this book of maps, that was like a game changer for me. I was like, okay, this is art. This is gonna be like my first piece, and I'm gonna be working in art. Since it doesn't matter if it's digital, if it's made in a napkin at a restaurant. Everything that I do that comes from my heart is art. So I think that's the main goal. And my advice for artists from the physical world to bring their art into the Web3 space is to do it and jump in here. Technology is a tool that you use to show your art, to show your feelings. And art is a way to show your feelings, to show the way you think, the way you see the world. So both hosts here are artists too. They make art, they express their art through AI, through paintings, through different ways. This space right here is a way of art. It's a way to support art, and the way they do it, the love they have to do it is a way of art. So I think that's my main advice. Do what you love, do it with love, do it from your heart, and it's gonna be art. And think of you as artist. Like when we say it in Spanish, creerse el cuento, like believe who you are, believe in you, and that's kind of an advice that is kind of a cliche stuff, but it's so true.
That's fascinating answer. I hadn't considered that before. Thank you for enlightening me. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. It was really, really good question, and I felt like really happy to answer.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akash. Always appreciate your questions when you come on the spaces. And I see we have Anna on the stage as well. Always a pleasure to hear from you, Anna. How are you doing today?
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I am thrilled to be here. I'm happy that I was able to pop here, listen to Zapata, because he's been a friend of mine for, I don't know, since we got connected in the NFT space for, I want to say over a year, within a year. So I always love to support my friends as much as I possibly can. And what you, Giancarlo, is doing, and Jennifer, is pretty fabulous. And I already use about the said that, showcasing other people's work, showcasing artists, like, in life, sometimes it's not what we do, it's what we do for others that matters most. And it's like in life, there is this really interesting quote that I've heard many years ago. It may resonate with you or may not, but to me, it really does. It's like what you give away, you always get to keep. In a sense of, the people you meet in life, the path you take, it's and the things you can do for others. It's like the long lasting relationship you get to build while doing something genuinely from the heart for others. So I'm like that in life always. I'm a good friend, I'm a loyal friend, and I love my friends. So Yuseph and I have collaborated over a year ago, and just recently, we started to also DMing each other. Like I threw an idea at him, kind of already created a sketch of what I hesitant to buy his stuff. Like, you guys should. He has rewarded me so many times, so much, and I am truly grateful for that. I know I should be, picking up some more of the newer stuff soon, but I definitely will. I promise. It's like the stuff that I see popping on Tezos each and every day. Like, what the hell? I'm that, like, this kid in a candy store. Like, I can't help myself. So, and it's like super affordable on Tezos. It makes it so much more fun to obtain stuff from people nowadays. And I'm very, very driven to get that ball rolling on Tezos, for not just for me, obviously for everyone as well. So it brings me a huge pleasure to continue to support the pieces that I buy from people that I appreciate, or even I don't even know sometimes. But I'm happy to be here in this space, just very cheerful about it, and I'm in a good mood because today it's Friday. The polluted air is finally out. For those of you that don't know, I actually, my family and I, we rented a house in Pennsylvania in Poconos. To we miss our family. I live in Florida full time now, but we miss the family, and so we rented a house in Pennsylvania so we could be close to New York, but not in New York, because New York is like, I don't know, it's just too much shit going on in there. I don't want to be in New York. So anyway, so Wednesday and Thursday this week, the crazy polluted air, guys. I seriously kid you not. I've lived in New York for 30 years. I've never seen anything like it. I'm in the middle of the woods right now, and the entire sky and the air, like you can see, it was so polluted with this gust of smoke. It was disgusting. Like honestly, whoever is doing any of all of that stuff, honestly, it's criminal. I personally, I'm not a scientist. Like I mean, I'm going off the rails, off the topic, but just like I feel like sometimes expressing a little bit too much of myself. But honestly, the fires don't happen on their own, and I know it's kind of like, I don't know, they saying global warming, schwarming, whatever, but needless to say, I'm happy that finally that polluted air left the area, and we finally went for a hike yesterday. It was amazing. Saw some beautiful places out and about in the woods. So that was really awesome for me. That's why I'm in a good mood. I love to be in the nature. Jenny knows we both suckers for beautiful views.
Same
So it's
here.
like
Same here.
yes, yes, yes. I know, Giancarlo, you love to travel. I love to travel as well. I mean, I could talk about forever about my troubles that I've had in my life. So, but this show is not about that. It's about use a pot and art. I'm just like a happy camper this morning. Seriously, TGIF for sure. I feel that today is a great day, and the energy is flowing, and I'm literally thrilled to hear more about you, Zapata, and just seriously looking forward to picking up some more stuff from you, and continue to give you more and more support, because you are freaking amazing. Period. Exclamation point. Then that's it.
Thank
I said
you.
it.
Thank you for all that love, Anna. You are always really, really kind. Your words are really, really welcome. You are always like giving me advices and follow all your advices. We follow each other in all the social networks, and we talk in different networks all the time. It's really, really cool to have you as a friend. We have to meet each other in person. I hope really soon. Hope to be Hope to go to Miami to the Art Basel, but I want to go and exhibit there. So like I'm trying my best to connect with galleries over there to be showcasing my art. But it's really, really, really good to hear you. I'm really thrilled that you're really happy for this Friday. I'm really happy too for this Friday. I'm going back to my home. I have a barbecue party over there for some friends. So it's gonna be a good Friday for all of us. And as you, I don't think you know, but one of my first collaborations was with Anna. She was so kind to make a beautiful art and mix it with my palometa. This time, I mean, we're gonna make it like backwards.
Hmm.
I'm gonna make a palometa, and she's gonna make the art to mix with it. It's gonna be a really, really beautiful piece. I'm working on that already. So that's one of the alphas that I wanted to show here, and I hope like this art reach a lot of people as always. The first time we collaborated, the art was collected by a whale collector, as she said. So she wrote to me like, "Hey, check out this guy collected our art," and we're like, "Okay, but I don't know what is
Like,
a
who is
whale."
that? Yeah.
I was starting like my career as a Web3 NFT artist, and she like was a really, really good help for me. She explained everything with clay, as we have to say here, like for small kids. She explained it everything as for dummies in Web3, and she keeps teaching me a lot of stuff. So it's really beautiful to have you here, Anna. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you, Anna, so much for being here, for coming up, and I'm glad that you're getting a better Friday and better air and everything too. So that's awesome.
Thank you for having me again. Seriously, I mean, as much as my crazy schedule is a little bit discombobulated right now, I'm so thrilled I was able to be here. So thank you for the time, for listening to my little blubber about everything. Anyways, I appreciate you guys.
Always appreciate you, Anna. I see that we have a few other speakers. I'm gonna go in the order I saw them. So I think Sarkis, you came up first. How you doing, man?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Giancarlo, Jennifer, Zapata. I really loved everything you said, like your story. I had no idea that you were doing sustainability work as well. That's really cool. I'd love to talk to you about that a bit more too, in private, like DM or whatever. Um, it's just really cool stuff that you're doing. You said you've been doing it for 18 years.
Yes, yes. Well, my company has 18 years, but our sustainability um, history is only 5 years. But
Oh,
we
okay.
have been like working on that. Is a really way to give back to the planet, to the people, and to do it from the brand perfect perspective is really awesome. Like to use all the power of communication to like I don't know. I would like to say like we wanted to make this bad guy of capitalism into this good guy of sustainability.
Very cool. Very cool. And I love your art. I just I'm staying with Jennifer and Carlos at the moment because of what Anna was talking about in New York. The air quality was really bad. I was starting to feel it. So I was like, I don't know how long this is gonna last. Apparently it didn't last. It ended like it's the air quality seems to be fine now in New York, but I'm glad I came regardless. And Jennifer and Carlos were so kind to host me, and it's really good to be out in the sun right now, sitting by the pool and just taking in the sun, and it's really peaceful. So if you haven't been out today, really recommend going outside, getting some sunlight, some fresh air. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to come up and say hi and appreciate all of you guys. Everyone who's up here, everyone's a friend, and Zapata is a very talented artist, and I haven't collected your work yet, bro, but I definitely will. The more I sell, the more I collect. So, actually, speaking of collecting, right before I got into this space, I collected Anna's piece. Has her collaboration. It's beautiful, amazing animation. So, fell in love right away. I was like, I'm buying it. And yeah, I really love that about Tezos, where we don't have to spend hundreds of dollars per se to support someone or buy a piece of art, and that's a really cool way to just keep the energy flowing. So appreciate it.
Thank you for stepping in, man. I'm really glad to hear good words from artists that I admire too. And well, I hope you get your Friday going on with a lot of sun, a lot of food, maybe grab a beer and have a good time.
Thank you, thank you. I'll definitely be working, but I'm enjoying it for now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm sure you guys are having a great time, hanging out together over there with Jenny and Carlos and their fam. And I agree with what you said too about the Tezos thing. I've actually been trying to onboard more people on there because I think it's just a really cool, platform and blockchain for people to be able to do more collecting and support other people, like you said, without being able to, without having to spend hundreds of dollars or more, or thousands or whatever, to do that. And I think Anna was mentioning, you go on there and there's just so much that people are selling and putting out there that, I mean, it's amazing. It's so cool. So, but yeah, hope you have a great Friday, Sarkis. Thank you for joining us up here and asking a question, chatting with us. Appreciate having you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I was gonna go next to Tuco. You still there?
Yes, I am. Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Doing great,
Good.
doing great. How are you?
Hola, Tuco. Good morning.
Hola, Zapata. ¿Qué tal, hermano? Aquí para apoyar. Well, no, it was great. I'm sorry I didn't know about this space before. Obviously, to support Yuseph in this space and everything. It's I have Colombian roots as well, and when we met, started following him, and obviously you can see the talent there. I always admire street artists. Gaston is also down in the space. He's also another street artist from Argentina, and I just love a lot of the mindset that comes with it, of being willing to have a little mischief, being willing to show your art, do it quickly, see what you can get done. So you have to be efficient and awesome. And obviously, through Zapata's work, you can see that. And one of the things I wanted to ask, because I think it's important in this space that has so many challenges, and that it's difficult to get your voice out. And I don't know, perdóname si ya respondiste esto cuando estábamos hablando, but I don't know if this has been here, but I'm curious as to how you deal with some of the challenges as an artist of when you're not quite feeling creative, or when the muse isn't hitting, or when you feel the weight of Web3 and life. What are the things that you do on a personal level to recharge yourself creatively? Because I think it's important, especially right now with the bear market we're all doing, to find out how other artists lift themselves back up, and what their process is. So I'm just curious, con eso. Does the question make sense?
Yeah, sure. It's a really like opportunity, opportunity, no, like opportuna.
Uh,
A
eh,
really good
It's a
question
good
for the
question.
moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, what I try to do with like these moments that you feel like overwhelmed with stuff and with art, like in Web3, I try to make more physical art. So I go out and paint any like a graffiti. To be outdoors is really awesome to like to liberate yourself a little bit from the weight of all the information and all the FOMO that you have on Web3. I think Web3 and all the social media brings that FOMO, a lot of fear of missing out. You want to be everywhere. I want to be everywhere. I want to be. I say like the small tomato in all the salads. I want to be exhibiting everywhere. I want to be like in every like meeting of Web3, but you have to reach a moment when you say, I can't be anywhere. I only can be here. I can only spend this money to go to that place. So I'm gonna paint here in my house. So I paint in my house, and when I want to get away from art at all and from graphic design at all, I hang out with my family, with my friends. I go and make barbecues. I hang out like to connect with people. I think that connection liberates and sets you free from all the, I think, the charge or the overcharge you have with technology. I'm not much of a like outdoors person to go to into the woods to hike, and like Anna was saying here, I'm more into beach. I go to the beach, I put my feet in the sand, I open a beer, and I hang out, like just enjoying myself, like to recharge over there with friends, with family. That is the connection that releases all the overcharge from all the digital world.
That's perfect, man. I love it. I think I couldn't agree with you more. I think we got to remember that IRL exists and that we got to be a part of it. So, gracias, hermano. Te lo aprecio y sigue con esta aventura tan loca que estamos.
Gracias, gracias. Sí, estamos todos en este barco y lo importante es eso, remar juntos, apoyarnos. I see, I see Gaston is a really supportive person for you and for all artists. For me, myself, I can say it. I feel he's kind of an inspiration. The way he lives is awesome. He goes to from different places. He's traveling and making art all around. That's really, really cool way to live your life. So it's really cool to have you here, bro.
That's awesome. Gracias, Tuco. Have a great day. All right,
Sí, claro, gracias a ti.
un placer, un placer. All right, let's go next to Hudasaka.
Hey everyone, Giancarlo, Jennifer. First of all, I just mainly wanted to say thank you. This was a great space to get to know Zapata. Of course, I know my brother because we've been in this ever since we started in Web3 with all the questions we had and that we still have, I guess. But that we've been entering together. So that's been pretty amazing. We've been able to meet a lot of people through art, and that's something that always connects to me. As Ju was just saying, to me, I know I love Web3, and I met quite a lot of people through here. But the connections that one is able to make when you meet somebody, like having a hug or having a talk or having a beer, even with somebody, I think goes way beyond that. Um, so I just wanted to mention that. Ju, I'm so proud of you, brother. You've done great. I feel that they were asking you earlier about like creativity, and I know he might suffer from this. And I ask you, Ju, because damn, to me, you're like the most creative person I know. And that's something that even for him, I know it gets to every creative person. I believe myself to be very creative as well, and a lot of us here. But if you get to know Ju Zapata, you'll be overblown by how much creativity goes in his head. So that's pretty awesome to see, and I bet a lot of people are seeing that too, brother. Yeah, just wanted to come up, say hi, support my friend, my brother, and yeah, guys, thank you very much for the space. This is amazing. As Anna was saying, Ju Zapata was also mentioning. This is art in itself.
Mm-hmm.
The questions, the way you manage this space. I've been in a couple of them, and it's really a nice space to be in. I was catching up with some work I had to do, and I just left it off. I was so caught up in the conversation, even though I know Zapata, I could just call and be like, "Hey, we're gonna have a beer today." Like I know all this stuff, but I like supporting, and that clearly shows what Web3 is all about. A big shout out to Maggie, Twisted Chick, who's down there, because she's been amazing. I've connected more with her in recent days, and just to see the support from Web3 is really cool. I see there's other people up here that I know they want to say hi. Just a big shout out as well to my boy Danny, Wabbits, Bad Wabbits. So fun to see you up here, brother. We did a collab with Danny with the Bad Wabbits and Ju Zapata for NFT NYC, and that was pretty amazing and allowed us to connect to a lot of people. And I feel that's always like the main goal, to go further from screens that I love. I mean, I'm a big fan of AR and all of that, but I mean, who wouldn't change a hug for a filter? Come on, let's be real. So, guys, it was a big pleasure to be here. I'm glad I can speak to all of you and say hi to all of you. I don't have time to say hi to each one of you, but I love you. So it's really nice to see all these people here in the crowd. Big love. Thank you. Bye bye, guys. Have a great day. Have a great Anna Day. I'm gonna call them Anna Days. Have a great Friday. Big love, guys.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for being here, for your support, for your kind words. And we have to say that the collaboration with Wabbits is one of our biggest, well, for me, it's one of my biggest NFTs so far. It has music, it has AR, it has physical art, it has connections with us. Like to work with this awesome group of artists, like also like working with Hudasaka is always really enriching experience. You get to learn a lot of things. You get to hang out, to have a really good time when drinkers and rum drinkers, beer drinkers think alike is like perfect.
It's always a good time, I bet. No, and thank you so much, Hudasaka. I really appreciate, like you said, the kind words, the support, being here, the fact that you've listened to several of the spaces. Really appreciate that. I will be hitting you up on the DMs as well, because I'd love to have you as one of our future guests as well. I think we definitely got to have you on here. So appreciate you, man, so much, and have a wonderful day, brother. All right, I'm gonna go next to Jimmy Crypto. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm coming down off a lift. I was like 30 feet in the air. Yesterday, I was up there and I got rugged, so I figured I'd come down. Plus another dynamic, my foreman just walked by. So I'm going to walk away from work while talking to y'all. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you,
Hear
bro.
me?
Awesome. I just want to give you all a massive shout out. Thank you, Giancarlo, Jennifer, for hosting these spaces and encouraging and supporting and highlighting artists. That's a massive inspiration to watch that real time. Zapata, do you have a Tezos profile? And if not, I was wondering if you don't, I could send you a little bit of Tezos to start one and make a little collection.
Thank you very much. I still don't have the Tesos profile and stuff because I'm kind of lazy for like creating different wallets and having like too much. I think I can't manage the way I want to manage all the small things. Like every collection I make, I don't want to end it. I want to keep creating for that collection. Since, as you can see, the Palometa collection is still going. The Yusapata pigeons, that is the one with my paintings, is still going. The cool color collection, that is kind of my favorite collection, where I like make giveaways of physical art to my holders, is still going. So I haven't made the Tesos collection because right now I jumped into Bueno, and I feel that I have to give like my 100% to that collection too. I have to be like, but I can't forget about the other collections. So I'm making palometas, I'm making paintings, I'm making like merchandising. I have to be like in a lot of places, and I think if I go into one more right now, I'm gonna explode.
I totally respect that. I was just curious because that's lately where I've been making sales and then pouring it right back in to the community. For ETH, don't really make much, and then that goes back as well. But the fees and whatnot. That's why I was just pretty much asking that. I'd love to support you on your journey. If you ever change your mind, shoot me a DM with your wallet address, and I'll send you some Teslas to get started.
Thank you very much. I will have that present. I think I eventually I'm gonna be like reaching out to you and Tesos and stuff, but yeah, like right now the timing is kind of with the Bueno collection that I have like all the things that I'm working on and physical art. I'm gonna be like launching them on Bueno, but I think eventually I will be like doing something on Tesos. Like everybody is working and they have a lot of beautiful art over there. I've seen Hudasaka, Luco, and Anna work on Tesos, really good stuff. So for sure, this is gonna happen eventually.
Well, hey, I appreciate everyone's time, and I know it's a valuable thing. If I could get one moment just to say if anybody's struggling mentally, whether it's with financial or relational or whatever, if you could just find it in your mind to reach out to the one you're most comfortable with and go from there, see what fruit it brings. Also, there's a lot of light and love in art. If you haven't picked up a pen or a paintbrush, there's also hobbies, all that stuff. There's life groups, there's counseling. There's so much opportunity to work on yourself and grow in that light. But I could go on for a long time with that. I just wanted to reach out and find what works for you, and also find what works for you, and also reach out to the one you're most comfortable with.
Thank you, Jimmy. We appreciate that. We appreciate you always looking out for the well-being of the community.
Yeah, dude, that's huge. I really appreciate that, Jimmy. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, you never really know what somebody's going through, at the time. And it's always good to just be able to have people there to have your back, someone to talk to when you're going through a tough time. So appreciate you bringing that up. and also offering and trying to get Zapata to also go on to Tezos. I think that would definitely be a good move. Once you have the time, Zapata to go there, and because I think similar to you, I think I've been able to see a little bit more success in terms of being able to move art there, and then similarly trying to just give it right back and support other people as well. So appreciate what you do in the community too, and all the support you give to other artists as well. So appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you. You all have a blessed day, and I'll drop down now.
You too, Jimmy. Take care. Have a great Friday. And I think the last speaker we had on here before we wrap it up, because I want to make sure you get to the airport, Yuseph. So I think we had Wabbit's World on here. How you doing?
What up? What up? Thanks for having me. Dímelo, Corillo. ¿Qué la que hay? ¿Qué la que Luco? Yusaka, Tuco. Dímelo, Corillo. ¿Qué la que hay? Thanks for having me, bro. I really just wanted to answer Tuco's question because it was a really good one, especially for like artists. And that's something that I know I personally been struggling with and been thinking about recently, like the change. It's just been something in myself that I force myself. I would say, like, to answer the question, basically discipline. So what I do when I don't feel creative and I don't feel like doing anything, I do it anyways. And when the inspiration strikes, then that's when you're going to create something good. But it's been my journey, and it's helped me a lot in the last 2 years as a professional artist, because I've been doing art for 15 years. In the last 2 years, I've been just focusing solely on brand and launching the collection, growing the community, meeting people from the space, meeting other artists, collaborating with other people. And what's brought me to all these different collaborations, the reason I'm in this space right now with Zapata, Yusaka, Iluko, is because I would say I would break it down to discipline. It's just I would draw every day. I would create every day. When I didn't feel like doing anything, I would do it anyways. When I didn't feel like drawing, I would do it anyways. I would eliminate certain things from my life that weren't meeting any goals, watching TV, being on Instagram, doing social media that wasn't with a purpose. And I would just realize that, you know what, I don't feel creative. I don't feel in the mood. I just don't feel like doing anything, but I'm going to do it anyways. And that really got me. It perfected my skill. I like, you know what it's like to draw for 365 days for 3 years. You're going to get better. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the people that you meet, the skills that you create along the way. And then the best part is when inspiration does strike as an artist, as myself, I've learned to be open to those moments. And then when it comes, just let it flow, not try to force it, because I think Luco touched on this earlier, or that it's hard to be creative. It's hard to be in that moment all the time. You can't force yourself. You can't just look at a blank piece of paper and say, this is what I'm going to do all day, every day. Like sometimes you do and you have a clear vision, but sometimes you have no idea what you're going to do. So I would say the best thing for me personally, my growth as an artist, as a disciplinary artist, would be to just practice every day. And I would do the fundamentals, just start drawing shapes, start drawing anything, just put canvas, paint on canvas, or just put pen to paper and draw, create. Sometimes I've even noticed that the written word can be creative. If I'm just writing my thoughts out and for an hour, and I put it in a written form, now I have something that I can structure. Just the goal is, I'm trying not to rant too much. The goal is just try to be creative every day. Try to go towards that goal. You may not feel like making 18-foot banana sculpture like I did that one day. You just might feel like drawing on canvas or black and white paper, and that's fine. Just try to be disciplined, just try to be consistent, and when creativity hits, that's when you're going to love doing what you're going to do. And most likely 99% of the time it's going to be like your greatest piece, but you can't force creativity. You can't force that that artistic ability to create just random great things. You just got to wait for it to come, and while it's coming, just be prepared. Prepare yourself. And that would be my 2 cents. Y ya, con eso lo digo todo. Los quiero, mi hermanito. En verdad, un abrazo. Gracias por todo.
Gracias.
No, gracias. I think that he made he's one of the most creative people I know too. He's always working. He's making stuff. He never stops. He made like some clothing, hand painted clothing, awesome stuff. He has like all creativity going on all the time. When you hang out with him, he's drawing. He's always like a really, really active person. I think you need those kind of people in your life to make you like step out of your comfort zone and to say, okay, I'm gonna follow this crazy guy dressed as a rabbit all around New York. And
That's
I love
awesome.
you so much, bro. You're really awesome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, man. And I think that is such good advice, and I think it's even great advice, like not even just for creativity and art, but even just in general, right? For like anything. I think like any skill, like whether even if it's like exercise or if it's like improving your writing or whatever it is, like there's times where you just don't feel like you want to do it, but having that discipline to like stick with it and do it anyway and build those habits, it has a huge impact, you know, because then like he was saying, right, like, you know, maybe you're not feeling that inspiration right now, but you're still getting the practice, still, you know, still putting in the time, and then you have those moments then when it hits and it just flows and it's like, oh yeah, you know, so you're ready for that. So yeah, that's such great advice, man. Thank you so much for coming up and helping also answer that question as well. Appreciate you, man. All right, so I know we got to get you to the airport. I want to make sure you get back home to Bogota. But Zapata, man, it's been such a pleasure to talk to you, to get to know a bit more about your art, about your entrepreneurship. I learned some new stuff today about the sustainable, this paint that helps the environment. I need to organize something around that. I thought that was so cool. Hearing your thoughts and things around AR, I think that's also going to be really big. So it was so cool. I was actually feeling a little bit down before the space and myself, because I've had a little bit of a tough week, and just the vibes here, man, just the energy from you and some of the people that joined, man, it just turned me around, man. It brought a smile to my face. So I'm really grateful for you taking the time today to share with us, and for everybody that was on this space today. I appreciate you guys so much. There's so many of you that have such a dear place in my heart, you know, and that are doing such amazing things, creating such amazing art. Thank you guys so much for all the support that you guys give us, for joining these spaces, for supporting us, and just being there for the community. So I really want to thank you, Zapata, so much. It's been such a pleasure. Hope you have safe travels back to Bogota, and a wonderful Friday and an awesome weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No, thank you for this space, for this awesome space. This has been like really energy charging for me. I think I'm gonna go to the airport flying right now. I'm really, really hyped for all the energy of all the people who came here, for all those who were listening, or those who came to just to say hi. For you for making this space, like I think is really, really important to have this, to get to know artists, to get to know collectors, to get to know the person behind this PFP is really awesome. And the way you do it, you are doing it really great. Jennifer, you know I love you, and I love the way you look with the Palometa hoodie. And Giancarlo, it has really been a great pleasure. I wanted to be here in your spaces for a long time, and this has been awesome. As I expected, I think it's gonna be. It has been way better, way better than I expected. This is a really awesome space, and thank you two for hosting it.
It's our pleasure. We love doing it, and you know, really appreciate everyone that wants to come here and share with us and just be a part of it. So thank you so much. I'm gonna have to pick up my own Palometa hoodie sometime. Let me know definitely if you come to Art Basel in Miami, because I'll be there. And by the way, if you ever create a Palometa stuffed animal, I know I'll definitely be all over that, because my kids love those. So think about that for the next evolution of like,
like a bushy,
like a bushy. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those, and I'm working right now on my new merchandising. It's gonna be like not a hoodie but a sweater and some T-shirts with palometas. They're gonna look awesome. I'm designing them and producing them. They're producing them in the north of Colombia. It's called Cincelejo.
On Cincelejo.
They're working right now in Cincelejo. As soon as I got them, I'm gonna post them. I'm gonna start moving them, and I hope to bring yours and to make that plushy animal that will be
That would be
awesome.
dope, man.
I made a carpet this week. A beautiful carpet of the base of the original Palometa. This one, I made it in a carpet with an artist who makes carpets, and as a gift for my wife. So I'm working in different platforms and I don't know surfaces, and I hope the plushies are gonna be one of them for sure.
Keep me posted, brother. Well, anyhow, so thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, safe travels, and a great weekend. And bye, everyone. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you all. Thank you for being here. Have a nice weekend. Love you all.